I have my paper here. I'm going to tape it down to my base. Fix the paper properly without any gap. For the sky, I'm using Prussian blue and cobalt green. Now I'm going to apply an even coat of water onto the paper using my Princeton wash brush. Gently apply an even coat of water. Use your bigger size brush if you don't have a wash brush. I'm going to switch to my 3x4 inch wash brush and I'm going to apply a gradient wash of these two colors. The bottom will be cobalt green and on the top you will have Prussian blue. On the top you could go with a darker tone of Prussian blue. When you reach almost middle of the paper, you could go in with cobalt green. Until almost till middle, go in with Prussian blue. I'm almost reaching the middle, and from here I will switch to cobalt green. I'm going to take cobalt green on my brush, and then I need to blend cobalt green and Prussian blue at the middle. The remaining area I'll simply paint in cobalt green. We'll need to make the top bit more darker, so once I apply cobalt green until the bottom, I'll go in with a darker tone of Prussian blue and make the top layer a bit more darker. I applied cobalt green. Now over here I need to make the blue bit more darker. So I'm just wiping off the cobalt green from my brush and I'm going in with Prussian blue and making the middle darker, and towards the top I'll make it even more darker. You cannot trust the color when the background is wet, because once watercolor dries, it tends to fade a little. So I'm not taking a chance. I'm going to make it a little more darker. You need to be a little careful about this. If you feel like the color is right when everything is wet, it will never be right. Once everything dries up, the color tends to fade a little. You will be getting a lighter tone when everything dries up. So go in with a darker tone at the beginning itself if you are looking for a darker looking sky. I'll just make the top bit more darker, then I'll be done with the sky. You don't need to use the same shades that I'm using here. You can go with any two shades of your choice. We are just going with a flat gradient wash of two colors. Alright, our sky is done. Now let's wait for everything to dry. My background layer has dried. Now let's go ahead and splatter some stars. I'm just squeezing out a little of this white gouache onto my palette. And then I will add in a few drops of water into this, and once I get the consistency right, I'll go ahead and splatter the stars. I'm going to dab my brush on a paper towel and remove the excess paint if there is any. And looks like it's perfect to splatter. Just tap and create as many stars as you want. I'll go in with a little more stars. Dabbing on a paper towel. Again tapping on my brush. You could see how nice and tiny stars I'm getting. You should have the right amount of paint on your brush. You end up getting those bigger splatters when you have excess amount of paint on your brush. And there we have a beautiful starry night sky. Now it's time to paint the bottom part. I'm going with a simple mountain with a tiny pine trees on top of it. You could go with pine trees or some mountains or a tiny house or any subject of your choice. I'm using the same size number 6 round brush which I used to splatter my stars. And I'm using black color here to paint the mountains. I will add a rough profile first, then I'll fill up this area in black. And later I will add in some pine trees on either side. And now I'm going to add some pine trees on either side. These are not very detailed ones. It's a very rough shape of pine trees. These are too tiny, so you don't need to put a lot of effort on this. Add 3 or 4 on one side. Don't draw all the pine trees in the same height. Play with the height. Make some of them taller and some of them shorter. I'm going with a taller one now. I'm just scribbling the shape. I'm not putting a lot of effort, as these are too tiny and the details won't be visible at all. Maybe I'll add one more on this side. I'll go with a shorter one. And after this I'll switch to the right side. Finally, I'm going to add a narrow curvy road here. I will add a curvy line first, then I will blend that into the background to get a smooth and subtle effect. I have added the shape. Now I'm going to take this out and blend this into the black background. I'm going to quickly peel off the masking tape. And that's the finished piece. Give it a try with any 2 colors that you have got. You don't need to stick to the same colors that I have used here. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and happy painting.